Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Geaux Stros. I actually got started 2 minutes before my scheduled time. Woohoo! I'm ahead of schedule only by 2 minutes, but it's better than being behind schedule. That's for sure. And I even had time to go to the cafe and have a little breakfast. I got held up just a little bit, but it was okay. One of my neighbors, he was outside tending to his vegetable garden, and whenever I went to my car, it was parked nearby. So he struck up a little conversation with me in Japanese, and it was pretty funny. At first, he was just curious about me moving because he's friends with my landlord, and he knows that I'll be moving out completely back to East Hiroshima within just the next couple of days. And then he wanted to know a couple of things about me, like, am I planning to go back to America? I said no, no plans to go back to America. And then he wanted to know where I'm from, which state. And I said, well, I was born in Louisiana, but you could say I spent most of my life there. My early childhood was Houston, Texas, and then I spent most of the rest of my life in Louisiana. And he asked me why I like Japan. Why do I want to stay in Japan? And I told him, I said, well, there are a few reasons. And one of the things that I told him was, while I was in America, I felt like there was this really strong push for women to be more like men, and they were trying to erase the lines between men and women. And I realized that in many ways, men and women are similar, and probably in more ways, men and women are similar, but there are some very important differences and big differences between men and women. First of all, men are not women, and women are not men. They're different. That's why we call them differently. Physically, mentally, emotionally, there are so many different ways in which we differ. And whatever your perception is, now you might disagree with me, but whatever your perception or belief is that a woman is supposed to be like, or a man is supposed to be like, that's yours. That's your perspective and perception. But basically what I told him was that I prefer women to be, or at least to me, to perceive them as more feminine. And there was too big of a push in America for women to be more masculine, and I didn't like that. I don't like a woman to act like a man. I like a woman to act like a woman. That doesn't mean that she's quiet or that she does everything I want. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that she's sweet, and she is caring. She isn't loud and obnoxious, and I'm not saying that guys are. It's just that guys tend to be more outspoken and direct and blunt and things like that. Women tend to be more indirect and softer and that sort of thing. More, I guess you could say, more sensitive towards the feelings of others. And when a woman doesn't act that way, it makes me not want to be around her. I don't like a woman who acts like that. So he said sometimes Japanese women can be that way, and I laughed and I said, yeah, but it's not the same. Trust me, it's not the same. So anyway, but other than that, the buildings in Japan, the safety in Japan, the cleanliness in Japan, there are many reasons to prefer living here to America. But Japan has its own problems and challenges. So you trade one thing for another. No matter where you go, you're going to have some things that you like, things that are interesting, things that are amazing, but also things that are difficult, challenging, maybe even some things that you find unacceptable. You'll find things like that in every country. So, no country is better than another. No place is better than another. What matters most is what's going on inside of you. So, if I wanted to live in America, I could live there and have a great life. I could. I didn't used to believe that. Now, I know that I can live anywhere and have a great life because what matters is what's going on inside of me, right? That's what I believe. The water just beeped. As for the game, now that I got all that out of the way, Framber Valdez is on the mound for the Astros today. He will be up in just a few minutes. The game is scheduled to start 7 minutes from now. He'll be facing Jonathan India, Bobby Wiff Jr., and Mark Canha. This is the top three batters of the KC lineup. I'm going to go grab my hot water to make myself some hot coffee, and then I'll be right back to really dig into this Astros lineup, and we'll get this game started. So hang with me just a second, and go Stros. All right. Just watching some highlights. Right now they are showing some highlights of Brian Abreu. First pitch coming up in just a couple of minutes. I got one more break. And then Framber will be up on the mound, guys. Looks like we might be wearing Astros orange today. These really bright orange jerseys. I really want one of these jerseys. I want the original Space City jersey, of course, the dark blue ones. But a really bright orange I love it so much. It's so vibrant. It just makes me feel good looking at it. I just love the way it makes me feel. Very energetic, very positive. I love them. I'm going to get myself one of those. If I wear that here in Japan, everybody will look at me. They'll be like, oh my gosh, look at that awesome shirt. Because a lot of people don't wear such bright colors normally. One day I was wearing a yellow shirt, a little yellow, like a long sleeve yellow shirt, and over that I had my LSU baseball jersey, and it was open. Just was wearing it over the top of that shirt, and I also had on blue jeans and my yellow LSU hat, baseball hat. And I actually got several compliments that day because people were telling me I was so stylish. It's, to me, it just seems like simple matching, you know. Yellow shirt, purple LSU jersey, a yellow LSU hat with blue jeans. Kind of simple, you know, just casual, regular casual clothes. But several people are like, man, that's really cool. You're dressed really fashionable. And that's the first time I've ever been told that. I used to wear stuff like that all the time when I was in the U.S. It's just kind of supporting your team, you know, showing your love for your team. But it's a fashion statement here, you know, and a lot of people don't dress like that. You know, if you go to a place like Tokyo or Osaka in the cities, you'll see more people like that. But I thought it was interesting. If you just, I guess you coordinate your clothing ensemble just a little bit, then it stands out. So I'm pretty sure that if I were to go out in public with this, with like maybe a navy blue undershirt, just exactly what Fromber is wearing right now. Like if you look at it, he's got the navy blue long sleeve shirt on right underneath his bright orange jersey. If I were to go out wearing something like that with the Astros hat, just like he's wearing, except maybe have the shirt unbuttoned, the orange shirt unbuttoned, and just dressed, you know, with blue jeans or something like that, people would be like, holy cow, look how fashionable and cool that is. Because, especially because it's bright orange. These bright colors, like, you know, there's the purple of the LSU shirt, the orange of the Astros shirt, stuff like this, you know, bright yellow, you know, these types of colors, you don't see them a whole lot in Japan, not even on the weekends. I mean, people are more loose on the weekends, but they're still overall rather a conservative society. Jonathan India is at the plate. He's about to come to the plate, rather. He's warming up still. He's about to be up against Fromber. He'll be the leadoff batter, batting .236 for the year. BitDog says, hey peeps, let's kick some arse early today. I saw your message earlier, but I didn't get around to it because I was trying to get some stuff off my chest and then get my coffee. But thank you so much for being here, BitDogs. Good to see you. Really good to see you. Brendan Rodgers is going to be on second base today for the Astros, it looks like. Pena, Altuve, and Paredes are the top three for the Astros. Altuve is the DH today. He's not going to be in the field. Christian Walker at first. Diaz behind the plate. Myers in center field. Cam Smith in right. Rodgers at second base. And McCormick in left. So DeCenzo's not in the starting lineup today. Fromber is ready for the first pitch to India. And here it comes. First pitch of the game. Right in there. 91 mile per hour fastball. Strike one. Tuesday night in Houston. Houston. Here comes the pitch. Another one right in there. India grounds it to Rogers, who scoops it up and goes to first. 2 pitches, out number 1. That's sad. They're showing some interesting stats about players who have produced the most runs against the Astros. Bobby Whiff hits straight to Pena, and he runs over to first, but he's not able to get there in time, so that's a nice play. I like to see that. 1 pitch, 1 out to Whiff Jr. Nice. 2 away. That brings up Mark Canha, batting .256 for the season. 5 for 22 against Valdez. He's not faring very well. Here comes the first pitch. Woo, right in there again. 95-mile-per-hour sinker. Oh and 1. Here comes the next delivery. Swing and a miss on that low sinker. Must be a little humid. Fromber's already sweating a little bit. Ken is back in the box. Next pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. Fromber picks up a K. How about that? A 3-pitch strikeout to Canha. Fromber has a relaxed first inning. Man, curveball. See ya. Wow. That was less than 10 pitches. 1, 2 to the first batter, 1 to the second batter, and 3 to the third batter. So 5, 6 pitch first inning. How do you like that? 6 pitch first inning for Fromber Valdez, and that included a strikeout. 2 ground outs and a strikeout for Mr. Fromber. I went to the museum the other day and I was looking for the most beautiful artworks. Who's your favorite artist? They asked me. Is it Rembrandt van Gogh? No. Caravaggio? No. It's not Caravaggio. Who's your favorite painter? My favorite painter is Fromber. Fromber Valdez. Oh, Fromber Valdez? Where is he from? Houston! All right, we got a couple of comments here from Astros Houston. Let's go Houston Astros. Space City, let's go Houston. Absolutely. 10 people watching right now. Thank you for being here. I also appreciate you liking and subscribing. I just hit 321 subs, which is frickin' awesome. Frickin' awesome. Let's get that up to 1,000. Actually, at 500 subscribers, it does unlock some more stuff, if you want to call it that. It unlocks some mild monetization opportunities with YouTube. Plus, it enables me to do some more. It gives me more tools and more analytics, more information when I get to 500 subs. And then when I get to 1,000, it unlocks basically everything. Bubic is on the mound. He's facing Jeremy Pena, who will lead it off for the Astros today. Here comes the first pitch. 92 right on the outside edge. 0-1. Oh, I got to change to the bottom of the first. There we go. Sorry about that. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And that one's hit into left field. Little flare. Is it going to drop? Oh, Bobby Whiff Jr., he can't come over the play, and Pena is going to hold up at first. 3 Royals out there, and Whiff Jr. tried to get on it. Bounces off his glove. This is probably going to be a hit for Pena. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Good job, Whiff. Womp womp. Wow. 29 and 31 games. Pena has a hit. Altuve, my hero's at the plate. He chops the first one just foul. 0 and 1 against Tuve. Jeremy Pena with the leadoff hit after just the first couple of pitches. Me likey. Come on, Altuve. Next pitch from Bubic on the way in just a moment. Fouls that one off the mask. Man, that was loud. I know you guys couldn't hear that, but it was like patink. The ball off of his bat and then off the face mask of the catcher. Patink, patink. Sounded like a true on-a-mask sound effect. 0 and 2 is the count. Come on, get focused, Altuve. You can do it. Here comes the delivery from Bubic. Ground ball, real slow to whiff. Does he go and get him at second? He does, but Altuve's already at first. There's no way to get him at first. Useless to try for the double. Looks like India gets hurt a little bit on that. He's hobbling around. Let's see if there's a little injury here. Yeah, Pena went in pretty hard. But there's nothing wrong with that slide. But they're going to come out and check on him anyway. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just, a little bit of acting and all that. Trying to ham it up for the crowd, get a call or something. India, you're fine. I'm going to tell you like the coaches told me when I was a kid. Walk it off. That's right. Walk it off. Walk it off. Jump it off. Shake it off. Jump and jack it off. What does that even mean? Jump and jack it off. It's okay, India. Just jump jack it off. Jumping jack it off. He's showing the clip again. Jeremy went in fast. He almost got there. I almost beat that throw. But he kind of just went down. He's okay. Paredes is at the plate. First pitch to him is on the way. Whoa, there we go. No, yes! Okay, it was like, yes, no, yes! It was a line drive smack. And at first I thought it was going through, and then I thought he caught it. And then it bounced off his glove. So we have another ball off the glove hit. Runners on first and second. Take a look at this. Look at this. Boom. Womp, womp, womp. One more time. Boink. Womp, womp, womp. Okay, 2 runners on with an out. And that brings up Christian Walker. Here's the first delivery from Bubic to him. And Walker goes straight up. Is that going to be playable? It looks like it might be. Oh, man. What a comedy of errors. Pasquantino barely catches that. Almost another one bounced off the glove there. So it should have been. Man, the Royals are just really giving us a strange show with their defense right now. Look at how silly this is. I'm surprised he caught it. Look at him. Look at him. What kind of nonsense is that? Wow. 2 away, unfortunately. But Diaz is at the plate. The Astros have 1 hit and 1 error in this inning. 2 runners on with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Diaz. He takes that one on the inside for strike 1. A sweeper. A sweeper. Or is it more of a swiffer? From Bubic, maybe it's a swiffer. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Low and inside. Good take. Evens the count. 1-1. Jordan says lucky. Absolutely. That's what it looked like to me. They had better chances at the other balls, I think. That one looked crazy. Just winning his glove. Talk about luck. Here's the pitch. Ah, swing and a miss on that upper outside fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on now. We got a runner in scoring position. It's the first inning. We really need some runs in the first. Yiner, don't let us down. Lift up our spirits. There comes the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. He doesn't even swing at it. Yeah, figures. Just take it. Why not? Just don't even try. Who wants to try? It's not like you're Yiner Triaz or Trier Diaz. Trier Diaz. He's Taker Diaz. Or Yiner take as. Take as is. Yiner take as is. Complete nonsense. That's the end of the first inning, guys. Astros come away with nothing. Not surprising considering their history of first inning tomfoolery this year. They are not a first inning team right now. That is for sure. Literally last in all MLB with first inning run scored, that is. Whew. Okay, score on the screen is updated. Let me take a look here. Yawner Diaz. Yeah, that was a yawner for sure. 9 people watching now. Thank you so much for being here. The likes to watcher ratio is 100%. It's 1-to-1. Thank you so much. Just one more like to hit 10. And I've just passed 320 subs today. So that's nice. Thank you for that. If you haven't subbed, be sure to do that. Subs and likes. You know, that's one of the things when you're watching TV, they won't ask for subs and likes. They'll just say, thank you for tuning in to us. Make us your first watch today, or make us your daily watch, or whatever. People on YouTube are always having to ask for likes and subs and stuff like that, and it starts to feel like white noise, you know, just the same thing over and over and over again. But it's really true that the likes and the subs lead to more views. YouTube will show it to more people. That's how they decide if they're going to show it to more people. Fromber is back on the mound facing Salvador Perez. Here comes the first pitch to him. A little low, ball 1. Seven pitches now for Fromber. He only had 6 in the first inning. It was really nice. That next pitch is a little outside. First time he's had 2 balls on a count. Wouldn't it be nice to see him go 9 innings? That would be awesome. Swing and a miss on that pitch. Changeup just dropped. Perez couldn't handle it. 2 balls and 1 strike. 10th pitch coming up for Fromber. Ooh, another one. Identical. But that was a curveball. He wasn't ready for that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a nice pitch. It dropped about 8 inches below the zone. Started off in the zone. Here comes the 2-2. Maybe the strikeout. Yes, it is. The strikeout. Another curve. Identical pitch. And he couldn't handle it. Man, talk about cruise control. Look at this. Whip. That was nice. Strikeout number 2 for Fromber. And out number 1 this inning. That brings up Michael Garcia. Michael Garcia. Here's the pitch. Right in there, fouled away. A 93-mile-per-hour sinker. Strike 1. I've got a dozen people following along. Thanks for joining in. Make sure to like and sub if you care what you're hearing about. If you you like it, if it moves you, if it resonates with you, if it touches your soul, if it reminds you of who you are on the inside, please subscribe. 0-1, or I'm sorry, 1-1 is the count now to Garcia. Here's the next pitch. Grounded, right past the mound. Pena's going to have to hurry. He gets it over there, no problem. Now that is how you do it. 2 away. Fundamentals, guys. Fundamentally sound is a good way to describe the Astros defense. Vinny Pasquantino approacheth the plate. Fromber's first delivery to Posky. 97, right in the lower part of the zone. Man, that was a sudden burst of power. 97. 0-1. Here comes the next pitch. Wow, curveball. Same thing he threw to Perez. Bottom fell out, couldn't handle it. 0-2 just like that. Valdez looking for his 3rd strikeout already. Here it comes. Ooh, he got him on the curveball. How about that? Man. 15 pitches? Man, Fromber. Fromber on fire. Man on fire. That is Fromber Valdez right now. 3 strikeouts, 6 up and 6 down. First 2 innings. Nothing doing for the Royals. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Will the Astros get on the board here? We'll see. They've got Jake Myers, Cam Smith, and Brendan Rodgers coming up to bat. Astros stranded a couple of runners on in the 1st inning with 1 hit and an error to reach. The Royals' defense not looking so hot today. The Astros are going to have to learn to capitalize on that, right? Abso-smurfly. Oh, we're getting close to 20 viewers now. That's nice. 10 likes. Please remember to like the live stream and subscribe. I just hit 322 subs. So today I've added 3 so far in the past hour or so. I appreciate that to my new subscribers. Fambler Valdez. Fambler? What's Fambler? Looks like we're back from commercial break, but I don't see anything. I can hear the crowd through the audio, but I can't see anything on the screen. All right, guys. Mr. Baseball comes to the plate. Jake Myers, Jake the Rake, Jake the Snake. But he ain't no fake. Here comes the first pitch to him. 86 mile per hour slider in there for a strike. Batting .298 right now through 39 games. Having a tremendous season so far. Fouls this one off for strike 2. All right, Myers takes a little break, calls timeout, takes his usual light swing. He's back in the box. Bubic is on the rubber looking for the call. He's got what he wants. Comes set. He's about to toss that rock. Here it comes. A little bit outside. Good take by Myers. I almost called him Snake. Good take by Snake. Snake Myers. Here comes the next pitch. A little high and outside. Another good take. He holds up. 2-2. Comes back from the 0-2. Now the 2-2. Let's see if he can grab that 3-2 or if he smacks the ball out of the park. What is he going to do here? Swing and a miss. That's not on the menu, Mr. Myers. High fastball. That was ball 3. Should have taken it. Should have taken that one. One away. And that brings up Cam Smith to the plate. Cam playing in right field today. First pitch to him is on the way. Little check swing, high fastball. They say he does not go, so that will be ball 1. Smith batting .221. .221, not stellar, but hopefully he will come along. Here we go. Swing and a miss there. He's not improving his average with that type of a swing. But they did just give some interesting information about Cam Smith. He's been on base every game, I think, in the last 15 games. That's a good stat. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cam. Here's the next delivery. Ooh, right in there, and he didn't even get near it. 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It looked like he missed that by 3 or 4 inches. Strike 2. I think he just got around way too late. Come on, Mr. Smith. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the 20th pitch from Bubic. Another swing and a miss. Cam Smith can't handle Bubic right now, it looks like. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts back-to-back for Bubic. Myers goes down swinging. Cam Smith goes down swinging. It's better than standing there and taking it like Diaz did. He took it right down the gut. But that brings up Brendan Rodgers. Let's see what he's got to say about this. Half swing for a strike. Low and inside. Should have been a ball. He picks up where Cam Smith and Jake Myers left off. 0-1. Next toss on the way. Another swing and a miss, this time low and outside. Rodgers just swinging at everything, I guess. He's just hoping one of those will be in the strike zone so he can hit it. 23rd pitch of the game on the way for Bubic in just a moment. Here it comes. In the dirt. Hey, Rodgers didn't swing at that. Good for you. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Royals Prods. Hello, thank you for being here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rodgers with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's the pitch. Way high. Ball 2. 2-2. Just like Myers. He comes back from the 0-2 to even it up at 2-2. Hopefully there's a better outcome for the Astros on this pitch, though. Fouls it off. Well, a foul off is better than a strikeout. Count remains 2-2. Bubic gets a new ball, rubs it up good. Comes set, and here is the delivery. And another strikeout, swing and a miss. So 3 Astros go down swinging. Hang your head in shame, Brendan Rodgers. You and Myers and Cam Smith, my gosh, all of you guys, what are you doing? Not a single one of them could touch the ball. Bubic strikes out after having a difficult first inning. Astros hitting the ball, getting errors, getting on base, and then being unable to score. He comes into the second inning and he just strikes everybody out swinging. This game makes no sense. Top of the third coming up. 0-0. Nothing but goose eggs so far. Astros with 1 hit. KC with 0 hits. But they do have an error. Astros have no errors. 15 hanging in there with me right now. Sorry the game is a little disinteresting. Make sure you like the live stream for me at least if you're interested in hearing more Astros live play-by-play games, feel free to join by clicking the subscribe button. I would much appreciate that. We are on a commercial break right now. We're in between innings. The top of the third coming up in just a moment. Fromber will be back on the mound. Fromber having an excellent start so far. He's retired the first 6 batters with just 17 pitches. So he is averaging 8.5 pitches per inning. If he keeps it up like this, he'll pitch 9 innings. Can you imagine how awesome that would be to pitch a complete game? 9 innings? It's so rare. Almost never happens anymore. Freddie Fermin is coming to the plate. He will be the first to suffer at the hands of Mr. Valdez, followed by Hunter Renfroe and then Kyle Isbell. Man, I really do want one of these jerseys. They're just so bright and vivid. It would go over really well here in Japan. I got to get myself one. Got to do it. All right, first pitch to Furman is on the way. He grounds it straight to Pena. Pena scoops it up, tosses it over to Walker. Perfect play. Out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. The relaxing progress continues for Fromber. Seven straight outs for Fromber on 18 pitches. How do you like that? Hunter Renfroe is at the plate batting 167 this season. Here comes the first toss. Just a little high and outside for ball 1. That was not a bad pitch. 92-mile-per-hour sinker. Maybe 2 inches out of the zone. Fromber crumples his glove a little bit. Gets a little comfortable. He's back on the rubber. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's in there. Oh! Called a ball. That was on the outside edge for sure. A really nice pitch by Fromber. He doesn't get it. 2-0. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Renfroe. He grounds that one over to Pena, who backhands it and fires immediately over to first. Good stretch catch by Walker. Great play on both ends. Out number 2. That's what we're talking about right there, man. That's that golden defense. Look how fast Pena scoops it up and just lobs it over. Boom. Oh, it didn't even bounce. Walker with the stretch. Good throw. Man. Next batter is at the plate. Takes the first pitch in the low part of the zone for strike 1. Kyle Isbell down in the count. 0-1. Here comes the next delivery. That's another ground ball. This time backhanded by Rogers, who fires the first. What a pro play. Did that not look perfect or what? Holy cow. The Royals defense looking like children, but Fromber and the Astros defense, this is what professional looks like. Brendan Rodgers with the backhand bounce and the over-the-shoulder gun for an arm to first base and a perfect throw for out number 3. Holy cow. Astros just locking them down. We just need to wake up those bats. How can a team be so awesome on defense and so inconsistent on offense? But you know what? I'm hopeful. And the reason I'm hopeful is because the Astros have actually been improving on offense. So, you know, I don't want to complain too much. It's just difficult when they score a lot of runs when they don't need a lot of runs. And then they don't score any runs when they only need a few, right? It's challenging to accept that. Justin Jarvis. Black pitcher ain't got skill. That, my friend, is the kind of comment that I don't allow in this chat. No hate. You are free to express your opinion in this chat, but I don't allow comments like that. Come on, don't be stupid. Let's see here. Who's up to bat for the Astros? Chas McCormick, the 9th batter in the lineup for the Stros. He's at the plate to face Isbell. Here comes the first pitch. High and outside, ball 1. The Chasmanian Devil, did he shave? Yes, he did. He shaved. He's got the strong stash going on. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Ooh, good take. Glad the umpire got it a little inside, a couple inches too far in. 2 balls and no strikes. Chas batting .241. So much better than what he was doing last year. Let's see if he can improve upon it. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Too low and inside. Good take. All right. 3-0 is the count. We might have ourselves a leadoff base runner. The 30th pitch of the game coming up for Bubic in just a moment. Here comes the toss. Oh, wow. He actually went after that one. Good for you, Chas. That was actually in the zone. And so McCormick went after it. He wasn't going to stand there and just take it for ball 4. He was actually swinging. Good for you, man. That's the way I like to play. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. Way high, ball 4. Now, that was a perfect at-bat right there. That's the way you do it. That was a professional at-bat. Because he could have just stood there and taken that strike. That 3-0 count, he could have just taken it. But he didn't. It was in the zone. He swung at it. Fouled it off. Next pitch was high. Got the walk anyway. That's the way I was taught to play. Good for you, Chas. Leadoff base runner with Jeremy Pena. He has the Astros' only hit so far this game with a single. Here's the first pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Good take. 1-0. The count. Here's the pitch to Pena. Pena hits that one foul. It goes back into the crowd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boom, boom, boom. Bubic takes a little breather, walks off the mound, grabs himself a little rosin love. One ball, 1 strike, no outs, runner on first. Pena, bring the pain. Bring the Pena. He hits that one a little too high. It's out in right field, looks playable. And that's out number 1. One away. Chas remains on first base. My hero comes to the plate, Jose Altuve. He's the DH today, batting in the number 2 position, giving him a rest out of the field. Works for me. First pitch to him is on the way in just a moment, and here it is, outside, ball 1. Good take. 35 pitches now for Bubic to get 7 outs. Here comes the next pitch. That's in there, an 84-mile-per-hour sweeper or Swiffer. Bubic tosses the Swiffer. That evens the count 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Altuve. Altuve hits that one pretty hard. Is it going to drop? Yeah, he hits it too hard to center field. That'll be out number 2, unfortunately. He got the bat on it, just got too much air underneath it. Didn't fall in the gap. So we get the leadoff runner, but so far nothing doing. But Isak the ball Paredes comes to the plate, and you know he's got those Crawford boxes that are always calling out to him. The Crawford boxes are like his lady love, and they're always singing, Paredes, come see me. Let's see if he takes a visit to Lady Crawford box today. That's just a little inside, ball 1. Good take. It was close, could have gone either way. Bubic really close to 40 pitches. This next one will be his 39th. Here comes the delivery. Nope, he goes to first. Chaz is back. Crowd gives a little bit of a boo. Stop booing, guys. Let's be better than that. Who cares? It's part of baseball. 1 ball, no strikes to Paredes. 2 outs. Mustache Chaz on first base. Here's the pitch. Little high. Ball 2. Good take. Make him pitch to you, man. Make him give you that home run ball. I know that Bubic definitely does not want to pitch to Paredes because he can put it in the Crawford boxes. That one's in the dirt. Ball 3. He's pitching all around the zone right now. 40 pitches for him now. He's pitching to him like pitchers were pitching to Yordan Alvarez, right? Pitching all around the zone but not wanting to put it in the zone. Nowhere near hittable. Bubic comes set, and here's the 3-0 pitch. He gets the walk. No. A little, very, very slow strike call by the umpire. Paredes was already walking to first. What kind of nonsense was that? He's laughing with the umpire about it. He's like, yeah, you didn't say anything, so I was like, I guess that's ball 4. Call it a little sooner, man. Don't take like 4 seconds to say strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Paredes. We're going to have another pitch. Here it comes. That's definitely in there for strike 2. So Paredes just taking a lot of pitches right now, making Bubic work his butt off to get these outs. Pitch number 43 on the way for Bubic in just a moment. And here it comes. And that's lined to the left side. A little broken bat, looks like. Easily played. Out number 3. Chaz is stranded like Tom Hanks in Castaway. Wilson! Paredes! Yeah, I don't know the connection there. I'm just being silly. Okay, that's it for the 3rd inning, guys. We wrap up the first 3 innings with nothing doing on either end except for 1 hit by the Astros. We have a 1-hit game, but the Royals have just as many errors as the Astros have hits. 1 error for the Royals, the Royals with cheese, and 1 hit for the Stros. But the result is the same. No runs. In everyday life, no runs is a good thing, but for the Astros in the game, not so much. Not so much a good thing. Royals. You say let's go Royals and Astros? I don't even know what that means, bro. Justin says this when we score. Okay, he said we. Who's we? Who's we? 20 people watching right now. That's nice. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you being here. Got 14 likes on the live stream. That is acceptable, but not stellar. Let's go stellar mode. Make sure that you like my live stream so I can get it over 20. I didn't start this live stream until last year. And you might think, oh, you've been doing it for a while now. Well, yes and no. I started my live stream at the beginning of July last year. Okay, so the end of March, April, May, and June. You're basically talking about 3 full months because, the season it gets started late in March, so there's only a few days of games. But 3 full months of baseball last year that I did not call. I didn't start calling until the beginning of July. Here's the first pitch from Fromber to Jonathan India, right in there, a 93 mile per hour sinker. Strike one. 0-1 to India. Oh, by the way, they just updated. The Astros now have 2 hits. India grounds one to third. There's not going to be a play. A just tapped ball down the third baseline, and there was no play. So that's going to be a hit. The first hit off Fromber. Look at this. Just died. Paredes was playing too deep. You see that? Yeah, nothing doing there. Paredes couldn't do anything. So first hit, first base runner for the Royals. But we have a double play coming up, right? Whiff Jr. is at the plate. Takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. Now, Whiff is fast. I'll give him that. But we can still double him up. Here's the pitch. Just a little outside. Ball 2. Because he often hits the ball pretty hard. If he hits it pretty hard to one of these guys on the infield, we might be able to get a double play out of it. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. He hits that one in the air, pretty deep to center field, all the way out of the warning track. Myers gets it. He brings it in pretty quick. Out number 1. That was a pretty well struck ball, just shy of 409 feet. Whiff Jr. flies out, so he's Fly Jr. right now. First pitch to Canna. Mark Canna is right in there for strike 1. 0-1. He struck out his last at bat. He would be a good candidate for ground out, I think. Here's a pitch. Oh, he lines it off of Pena. Pena can't handle it. Difficult short hop line drive. Even though that was an incredibly difficult catch to make, I am surprised that he didn't make it, honestly. That was rifled off the bat. Let's take another look at that. Yeah, it bounced over him. He was looking for it to be lower, but it just bounced up on him. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Salvador Perez comes to the plate. He struck out his last at bat. Here comes the first pitch. That's grounded to Paredes, who goes to second and over to first. They get the double play. There's the double play I was looking for. Valdez is the master of the DP, baby. Royals can't handle the DP. Look at this. Rifled to Paredes. Backhands it. Goes to Rogers. Rogers to first. No problem. That's right. Base runners don't mean nothing to Framber Valdez. Base runners don't mean a thing. It's not if Framber will get the double play. It's just a matter of who and when. Bottom of the 4th coming up, guys. Sorry for you Royals fans. I'm not going to rub it in or anything, but, this is Framber Valdez. If you guys don't know anything about Valdez, then I can tell you this. He is a ground out and double play machine. Teams don't typically hit many home runs off of him. Lots of ground outs, lots of grounders, balls on the ground, double plays. This is the kind of strength that Valdez has. He also has the ability to strike out batters because he's got a great sinker. He's got a great curveball. His fastball isn't bad either, but when he's got such great breaking balls, breaking pitches, and then he suddenly throws the fastball, it can be disorienting. The Royals do have 2 hits now, so the no-hitter is broken up, but the shutout continues for both teams. By the way, they took the error away. My information on screen was updated. Can you believe that they took the error away from the Royals and changed it to a hit? So now the stats are showing that the Astros and the Royals both have 2 hits, no errors. I'm not sure I agree with that. I feel like the play earlier should have been an error, but I guess they disagree with me. Not surprising. Walker is in there, takes the first pitch up and in just a little bit. Kind of a brush back by Bubic. 1-0 is the count to Walker. Texas Ranger. Little check swing, low. Oh, he said he went around. Really? Did he? I don't know. Didn't look like he went around to me, but okay. 1-1 is the count. I like him. Good pitcher, says Royal Prods. Yes. Me too. Watashi mo. Here's the pitch to Walker. Swing and a miss. 85. There's no doubt about that one. That was definitely a strike. When you swing and you miss the ball, it's pretty obvious, right? 1 ball and 2 strikes. Walker 0 for 1 today. In a little bit of a hole right now. Let's see if he can make something happen. Umpire waves off the pitcher for a moment. I guess Bubic was starting to get into his windup a little too soon. All right. Walker's back in the box. Bubic is on the mound. On the rubber. Comes set. Toss imminent. Here it comes. A little outside. Walker holds up, takes that for ball 2. 2-2. Yeah, I can hear somebody in the stand screaming at the top of their lungs. That was strange. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the toss. Swing and a miss. Walker goes down. Walker actually does not have good results versus lefties this year. He's like, I don't know, 2 for 20 or something. One away. And that brings up Yawner. Yawner is up to bat, Bit Dog. Yawner Diaz. Here's the pitch. He goes after that first one, hits it way up in the air out in left field. Whiff Jr. is underneath it and puts it away. No comedy of errors on that play. Surprisingly. Royals defense getting it done that time. Congratulations, guys. You've improved. Bubic now at 48 or 49 pitches. Almost at 50. Jake, the man, Mr. Baseball Myers, is at the plate. Takes that first pitch low for ball 1. 50 pitches now for Bubic. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Jake. Jake takes that one outside. Another good take. That was about 3 inches off the plate. 2-0. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, low below the zone, but Myers goes after it. Strike 1. Change up, 86 miles an hour. Good pitch, but not a good pitch to be swinging at. Should have been ball 3. Myers takes a little break. He taps out for a moment. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs, no runners on here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch to Myers. Right in there for strike two. He takes it right down the gut. Takes it like a Diaz. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to third, played by the backhand of Whiff Jr., and his throw is off target. So, an excellent effort, but not maximum effort. You're going to have to give maximum effort if you want to get that out, Mr. Whiff Jr. Let's take another look at this play from a different angle. Backhand, just not a good throw, way off. That was almost 10 feet off the bag. Yep, I don't think he would have been able to get him anyway. Myers is pretty fast. We have a 2 out base runner. Cam Smith comes to the plate. Crank it up, Cam. Here comes the pitch. Oh, he was thinking about swinging. Don't know why he didn't. 83 mile per hour Swiffer. Right in there for strike one. Here comes the next pitch. That one's right on the outside edge, fouled back. A changeup. And now he's down in the count 0-2. $18 people following along. Please make sure you like the live stream at least. If you care for more of these games to be live streamed, please feel free to join the channel. Here's the pitch to Cam Smith. He fouls it off again. Count remains 0-2. 94 mile per hour fastball that time. That was actually a big improvement. Cam Smith couldn't even get his bat on the fastball his last time up. It looks like he made some adjustments. Now he's getting the bat on the ball at least. 58th pitch of the game coming up for Bubic in just a moment. Here it comes. Oh, Jake Myers going for a steal. Is he in there? Yes, he is. Heck yes, Mr. Baseball. He puts himself into scoring position. That's what I'm talking about right there. Ball one to Cam Smith and a stolen base from one Mr. Jake Myers. That was not a... I think there was time for the ball to get there. The throw was just not good. That was close. Looks like KC is going to challenge it. They're thinking that maybe the glove got on him. The throw was not good, but it was there in plenty of time. So what they're doing is they're taking another look at it to see if he got the tag on his rear end. Take a look at this. Let's see. Nah, yeah, he's out. He just barely got him. Good job by India to get that tag. They're going to overturn this. I think that's going to be out 3. Excellent effort by Myers. Bad throw by the catcher, but he got it there in plenty of time. Astros fans are quiet. Yeah, it's overturned. They say he's out, and that's out number 3. The Royals with cheese maintained their challenge. Hats off to them for getting that, mostly to India for catching that ball and making that tag. Excellent defensive play there. Not characteristic of what I've seen so far of the of the Royals with cheese this game. But it's all good. We go to the top of the 5th, still 0-0. 3 hits for the Astros. 2 hits for the Royals, and that's basically the only offensive stats that we have right now. Nothing else going on. As far as pitching is concerned, Fromber has 3 strikeouts, and his pitch count is quite low. Bubic, on the other hand, his pitch count is almost at 60, but he does have 5 strikeouts. Fromber only has 31 pitches. Fromber's pitch count is basically half of Bubic. That's crazy. If you take a look at pitches per inning, it's nuts. basically Fromber is averaging about 7.5 pitches per inning. That's nuts. He keeps going like this. He seriously can pitch 9 innings. There's no reason to think that he can't. He could pitch 9 innings with less than 100 pitches. Can you believe that? If he's going at this rate, less than 90 pitches. It's insane. Fox at bat says, go Astros. Yep, I agree. Jordan says, kind of don't mind when it's a great baseball play. Yeah, Jordan, I have to give respect and kudos where it's due. And I can't say that the catcher did anything amazing there because, catching the ball, getting up quick, and throwing it hard to second base is not the difficult part. The difficult part is doing it and making a good throw, and his throw was terrible. So I can't give him any credit. Now, Michael Garcia is at the plate. He takes the first pitch for ball 1, a little high and outside. Here comes the next pitch from Fromber. That's in there. Curveball. Strike 2. I'm sorry, strike 1, not strike 2. I meant to say 1-1 is the count. Womp womp. Here's the next pitch to Garcia. Outside. The changeup misses. 2-1. Now, I do mind the great play, Jordan, if it causes the Astros to miss an amazing opportunity or lose the game, but I'd still give respect to the play if it's a good play. Here's the next pitch, 2-1. Just barely misses on the outside corner. Valdez smacks his glove and looks a little disappointed. He's going to take the typical Fromber stroll off the mound. A quick regathering of himself. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the next toss. Fouled off. Comes back and gets the strike on the sinker. Full count. I don't think I've seen... Yeah, we haven't seen a full count yet for Fromber. I don't think so. His pitch count is so low. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Garcia. In the dirt, ball 4. So, first walk of the game for Fromber. Oh, that's pretty interesting. The World Baseball Classic in 2026 is going to be on in Houston. That's interesting. Wouldn't mind visiting for that. We'll see if it works out. Pasquantino grounds one up the middle. That's going to be a single, and Garcia will go to third. Runners on the corners with no outs. The first big movement on offense for the Royals this game. Diaz is going to have a little chit-chat with Fromber. Yo, man, what's up? What's all this? That's exactly what he asked, I'm sure. Justin says, hater. Just being honest. BitDog says, at least he tried to make something happen. Not many Stros steal these days like they used to. I agree. I mean, I was all for it. Even though he's out, I'm not against it. Because Myers is actually fast. If he got tagged out like that, just tells me that his jump probably wasn't that good. First pitch to Freddie Furman on the way. Low and inside in the dirt. Ball 1. Ground out for Furman today. He's 0 for 1. Let's see if they can get a double play and hold the runner at third. That would be perfect. Here comes the pitch. Grounded sharp down the third base line. Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. 40th pitch of the game coming for Fromber in just a moment. This is the most work that Fromber has had to do in an inning this entire game. Here comes the toss. That's grounded to short, and it's going to be through. The Royals are going to get on the board first. Runners hold up at first and second. No outs, runners on first and second. That was a 93-mile-an-hour sinker. Down and away. Was not a bad pitch. Fromber a little upset about that. No big deal. Wasn't a bad pitch, just a decent hit. Renfroe is at the plate now. Takes the first pitch off the plate for ball one. 95-mile-per-hour sinker. This is a better position, though. This is another opportunity for a triple play. I haven't seen one of those ever live. I'd love to see one. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Renfroe. Fromber back on the rubber. Comes set. And a little bit of a delay. Here's the pitch. Just barely misses the bottom of the zone. Curveball, 80 miles per hour. Man, that was close. Fromber looked a little disappointed he didn't get that one, or at least get him to swing. 2 balls, 1 strike. 44th pitch of the game coming for Fromber. Here it is. Ground ball to shortstop. Pena to Rogers. Rogers the first. 2 outs. Double play. That's 2 double plays in 2 innings for Fromber. Runner goes to third. In this game, 10 ground outs, 1 fly out, 3 strikeouts for Fromber. Kyle Isbell comes to the plate with 1 runner on, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's a strike right in the bottom of the zone. Good, solid sinker. Oh, and 1 is the count. Isbell grounded out last at bat, not surprisingly. Here comes the pitch. Inside edge. Good pitch. 80-mile-per-hour curveball. Strike 2. 0-2. Crowd needs to make some noise here. Get that strikeout, Valdez. Here it comes. In the dirt. Inside and in the doit. Jordan says, I wish we could extend Fromber. Yeah, it would be nice. But they might trade him for hitters. Here's the next pitch. Whoa, we got him on a swing, and Diaz is going to have to fire it over to first, but no problem. He gets the out. So that's a strikeout for Fromber. Swing and a miss by Kyle Isbell. Can't handle it. You can't handle the Valdez. There we go. We go into the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Royals. Fromber gets himself out of a little bit of trouble. First time he's had any issue in this entire game. Through 5 innings, Fromber had 4 wonderful innings. Just a little bit of trouble that inning, but got out of it. He stayed composed, gave up just 1. Still an excellent pitching job. Astros just need to put some runs on the board. Yeah, Jordan, people talk about this all the time, you know, and actually my impression is that most of the Astros podcasts and commentators who talk about these things, most of them, from my perspective, are in favor of trading him away for some hitters. And there are a couple of reasons why. One is we need hitters a lot more than we need pitching right now. That's the first reason. But the second reason is he would cost so much to keep. They're thinking maybe, you know, you weigh one versus the other. Keeping him versus trading him. If you keep him, you got to pay him a ton of money. And at this time in his career, you know, what is the better option? You know, I'm not going to say right now what that is, but it's something to think about, right? Jordan says, give me enough and I'll trade anyone at any time. Hey, man, you know, it's business. This is an entertainment league after all. I mean, they're playing a sports game, but it's entertainment. If it weren't an entertainment league, there wouldn't be so much money being thrown around. It's about business, so you're right. Cam Smith is at the plate. First pitch to him is on the way. He lets it go inside for ball one. Good eye. Ball one. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Wow, Cam rips that one, but too early. Foul. The ball boy can't even handle it. 1 ball, 1 strike. $18 likes. I need 2 more on the live stream to get to 20. I appreciate you guys hooking me up with that right now. Remember also to subscribe if you haven't already. Geaux Stros. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Cam. Cam tries to crank it up, but he has a little problem getting started there. Kind of sputters out, swings and misses. Strike 2, 1-2. He didn't rip it like he did that last pitch. Let's see if he can find the happy balance right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. Come on, Cam. Here's the pitch. And he fizzles out. So after ripping one down the third baseline, Cam goes back to swinging a little lethargically. And I thought I had anemia problems. What are you doing there, Cam? You're killing me. You're looking like one of those old crank-up engines. Just can't quite get it cranked up. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate with 1 out, no runners on. Here's the pitch. 84-mile-per-hour Swiffer right in there for strike 1. Rodgers struck out swinging his last at bat. Let's see if he can change the script, flip it. Check swing, did he go? They say no. 1-1. A little low on that pitch. Jordan says, I'd take Fromber, Diaz, and Yordan if it would make our farm system go from worst to first. That would be difficult for the crowd to accept, but it might would be necessary. That pitch is in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Another strikeout. Brendan Rodgers goes down swinging 2 at bats in a row. Hang your head in shame, Mr. Rodgers. Two away. And that brings up Chas McCormick. He walked his last at bat. Chaz's last at bat was perfect. He took 3 balls, swung at the strike, fouled it off, and then took the next one for a ball. Walked. It was a pro at bat. Let's see if he can do the same thing here, except get a base hit, or even an even bigger hit. Here's the pitch. Now that one's on the inside edge, strike 1. It was close. 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch is on the way. Outside. Way outside. 1-1. The count is even. Send Rodgers to the minors. Well, he needs to go somewhere. But definitely not batting 8th in this lineup. That's for sure. Not like this. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. McCormick hits that one high in the air. And that's going to be too high. Isbell goes back but comes back in. And that's it for the Astros this inning. McCormick gave it a ride, but he got too much air underneath it like Michael Jordan. And he flies out for out number 3. That's it for the Astros in the 5th inning, and that's it for this inning. We go into the top of the 6th. 1-0 Royals with cheese. What a boring game. 4 hits for the Royals and 3 for the Astros. 1-0. Jonathan India is due up here in a moment, the top of the batting order, facing off against Fromber. The next pitch for Fromber will be his 50th of the game. He basically has averaged 10 pitches per inning. Even though he struggled a little bit in that last inning, he still only has an average of just slightly less than 10 pitches per inning. He's still on track to pitch a full game. Isn't that amazing? Jordan says, we have pitching, we have several catchers, and too many DHs. Yeah, and that's the thing. We have several players like Altuve, for example. Altuve doesn't need to be playing every single game. He's 35. He needs a break. Letting him do the DH sometimes and giving him a break from the infield or the outfield is an excellent way of balancing his rest and playtime. So he can do DH, and we've got Jordan to do DH when he's not injured, of course. We've got some other guys that can do DH. I agree with you on that. What we need is people who can hit the freaking ball. You know, we need our worst batters hitting 250. We need our decent batters hitting 275. We need a few guys hitting 300. Jonathan India is at the plate. The first pitch to him is in there for strike 1. A nice curveball by Fromber. Always buy low, sell high. Yeah. Jonathan India pokes it through the hole on the right side, an opposite field single. India owning the Astros basically this series, 5 of 7 at the plate. Bobby Whiff Jr. comes to the plate, over 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. He doesn't know it, but right here could be the double play. Another double play for Fromber. Little low and inside. Ball 1. Got people screaming in the audience again right now. They're going, whoa, whoa. I don't know what's going on, but it's funny sounding. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Woo, man, that had a lot of movement on it. That changeup went crazy. It went outside. Started in and went out. That was a beautiful pitch. That was the kind of pitch that I was always trying to learn how to throw. It's like the opposite of a curveball, the way it moves. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Whiff Jr. takes it in the bottom of the zone for strike 1, a 79-mile-per-hour curve. 2 balls, 1 strike. No outs, runner on first. Top of the 6th. Here comes the next toss from Fromber. That one's grounded to third. Could be a double play. They go to second. Rogers the first, and they get him. Heck yes, they double up with Jr. That's what I'm talking about. I've been waiting for it. That's the guy right there I like to see doubled up is Whiff Jr., man. He's fast. Doubling up on Bobby Whiff Jr. Put it on the charts. Put it on the board. Heck yes. Paredes quickly to Rogers. Rogers the first. Perfect. Pro level, baby. First pitch to Mark Canha, and he goes after it. That was definitely a strike. Why are they checking with first base? He definitely went around on that one. That's strike 1. There's no way he check swung. Yeah, they call it a strike. Why did they even bother checking with first base? That was obvious. So clear. Did you not have your glasses on? Here comes the 0-1 pitch. A little low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, no runners on. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Beautiful curveball. 79 right in the bottom of the zone. Started off in there, and then the bottom fell out. Kind of couldn't take it. Went for 2 today with a single, but crowd is getting a little excited right now. Looking for a whiff. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Valdez. Grounded to Paredes. He's going to have to hurry. He fires it over to first, and he's got it. That's what we're talking about right there. Not a worry in the world for Fromber with a defense like that. Paredes, as usual, showing how solid he is over there at third base. 3 up and 3 down thanks to the double play. Fromber getting it done. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 1-0 Royals. I feel like the Astros are going to do something here. 5 hits for the Royals, 3 for the Astros. But the Astros about to tack a few on the board, I believe. BitDog says dinner time later, guys. Thank you for being here again, BitDog. It's really nice to see you again. Take it easy. Jordan says, I don't get attached to players, with Altuve being the exception because he was winning Silver Sluggers playing for nothing. Yeah. Yeah, Altuve is a special case. And my heart would be broken if he were to leave. I think that the Astros organization realized that also. Can't imagine Altuve playing for another team. The thing is, he doesn't want to. He's at home where he's at. He always wanted to play for the Stros. If you look at his overall story, everything that he's been through and the kind of guy he is on and off the field, everything about his whole life story is just wonderful. That's why he's my hero. It's not just because, oh, Altuve's a good player. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's his whole being. The state of being that he chooses to exist in. That's why he's my hero. And there's been no other player like him. People can talk about whoever they want. They can talk about Shohei Ohtani or maybe Aaron Judge, whoever. These big guys, big fast guys. That's not what you call natural talent. That's just called they were born with an amazing body. Altuve wasn't born with such a huge, powerful body, and yet he gets it done. But his attitude off the field and on the field also, his whole life story is just amazing. Pena's at the plate, takes the first pitch in there for strike 1. The next pitch is on the way. Come on, Flash. He fouls that one off for strike 2. Speaking of Altuve, he's on deck. Pena's 1 for 2 today. He has a single. Timeout called as Pena steps out of the box. Pena currently batting .295. He has really pulled up his batting average a lot since the start of the year. He's come along, doing really well in that leadoff position. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, or 0-2 pitch. Man, sliced foul. That could have been an extra base hit for sure, but just a few feet beyond the line. The count remains 0-2. 21 people following along. Did I get up to 20 likes? Nope, I need 2 more. I'm at 18 likes on the live stream, guys. Please remember to click that like button if you will, even the subscription button. Pena hits it really hard out to the Crawford boxes. It's gone, definitely gone. Up to the railroad tracks. Jeremy Pena with a one-run shot, a leadoff home run to tie this game up. How do you like that? Justin Jarvis, that's just for you. Jeremy Pena. All the way up to the railroad tracks in left field. Over the Crawford boxes and onto the railroad tracks. This game is tied 1-1 on an 0-2 count. He's now tied. He gives Jordan a hug in the dugout. Love the love on this team. These guys are hilarious. First pitch Altuve is inside, but in the strike zone for the first strike. 0-1. My hero is at the plate now. Here comes the second pitch to Altuve. Altuve strikes it down the line. It's fair. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Altuve. How do you like that? 2 hits in a row for the Astros. The home run for Pena, and then the double for my man, little man Jose Altuve, little big man. So Jeremy Pena's homer, followed by Altuve's double. Just like that. I told you I felt that the Astros were going to unload right here. There's Altuve's double. Look at that. Perfect. He socked the ball. Paredes comes to the plate with Altuve on second. No outs. Here's the pitch. He tries for that first pitch. Bottom falls out and he misses it. Strike 1. The crowd is really excited right now. This game's tied up. Opportunity to go ahead right here. 0-1. Here it comes. Woo! That one he should have swung at. It was just right in the bottom of the zone, but he took it. Strike 2. Oh and 2 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Bubic in the dirt. Catcher is able to corral it. Altuve stays on second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jordan says, I like it. Me too. No such thing as getting too excited. Unless you injure yourself in the process. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Paredes. He fouls it off. Count remains 1-2. Altuve taking his hat off, relaxing on second base, but he'll be coming home soon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 80th pitch for Bubic coming up in just a minute, but it's going to have to wait another moment as Paredes calls timeout, takes a step out of the box. Now he's getting settled back in. I was trying to pour myself a second cup of coffee, but this game is too exciting right now for that. I'm going to have to wait a minute. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Foul tip, strike 3. Paredes with a half swing goes down. Didn't really commit to that swing, so not much doing there. Not a big deal. Out number 1. That's going to bring up Christian Walker, another guy who could easily put it into the Crawford boxes. I've seen Christian Walker hit a lot of home run balls foul. Anywhere from just a couple of feet shy of the foul pole to about 15 feet shy. He rips those balls out there. He was trying to rip that one. High fastball. Strike 1. Good thought right there. Go after that first pitch. Try to ambush him, but just couldn't quite get it. A little too high. Good thought, though. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Way high and outside. Good take. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 runner on second. Altuve ready to go at a moment's notice. He might not have to run very hard. Walker goes to that railroad track like Pena did. 1-1 delivery on the way. Ripped down the line, but foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now is the time to focus. Five hits for both the Astros and the Royals. 1 run. We are all even right now. Here's the... Nope. Walker has to take a break because Bubic disengages. He steps off the mound. Or he steps off the rubber, rather. He's back up on it now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Walker. Here comes the delivery. High and outside, ball 2. Good take. The count is even. .85 pitches now for Bubic with this one. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Walker swings and misses that one below the zone. An 87-mile-per-hour changeup. Not a good pitch to be swinging at. So Walker becomes striker, Christian Striker. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. Walker is 0 for 2 today now. Yainer with an opportunity. And Yainer has been coming on a lot these past 20 games or so. Really good opportunity to drive in an RBI here. He goes after that first one, a 94-mile-per-hour pitch on the outside edge. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a pop-out. .01 pitch on the way. Altuve on second with 2 outs. Ball high and outside. That evens the count 1-1. Glad to see Yainer not going after that stuff out of the zone. Man, this is the slowest cup of coffee. It's always slow to make a second cup of coffee. It takes so long to pour through. Here comes the 1-1. Yainer fouls that one off low in the zone. Strike 2, 1-2 is the count. Justin Jarvis, I don't understand half of what you say. Maybe you should articulate a little better. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Yainer Diaz. Here comes the next pitch from Bubic. Yainer pokes the bat out there and fouls it off. Stays alive, but could have just let that go for ball 2. Yeah, it was kind of funny. He actually had to lunge out there to get the bat on that one. Had a lot of movement on it. 90th pitch for Bubic on the way in just a moment. The 1-2 count. Here it comes. Yainer hits it pretty hard out to left field. Is it going to be playable? Yes, it is, unfortunately. He didn't quite get on it hard enough, but man. But we get out of here with a 1 run thanks to the 1-run shot from Jeremy Pena all the way up onto the railroad tracks. The long ball evens this game. We go into the top of the 7th. 1-1. Five hits each, 1 run each, no errors, although the Royals could have easily been charged with 2. Originally, they were charged with 1. And then they removed that one for some reason, but it's all good. All right. Let's see here. Fromber is up to 59 pitches. He's cruising along right now, averaging slightly less than 10 pitches per inning. Top of the 7th. He's strong enough to throw 40 more pitches. He literally could go 9 innings. I'm really looking forward to seeing if he does that this game. Seriously. I said something about it several innings ago. But man, how amazing would that be for Fromber to actually do a full game? When was the last time you guys saw a pitcher do 9 innings? Maybe, I think about the no-hitter that Blanco threw last year, right? I think about that. But other than that, nothing really comes to mind. Justin Jarvis, you're a strange person. 30 people watching. That's nice. Appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you like the live stream. I'm up to 20 likes now. Thank you very much. It'd be really cool to see the subscriber count get to 330 today. That would be a nice mark. That would put me at 11 subscribers gained on the day. That would be excellent. Salvador Perez comes to the plate here in the top of the 7th for the Royals. Valdez having a good game so far. Now let's see what he does here on the first pitch. Here comes the delivery. Ooh, there we go. Right in the bottom of the zone for strike one. It was a little low, but the umpire liked it. I doubt Perez agrees, but it is what it is. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Perez swings at that one, fouls it off. 0-2, just like that. Jarvis says Royals gonna lay down right now. That's right. The Royals are gonna lay down. That's right. Lay down, Royals. Lay down and go to sleep. Fromber is gonna rock you to sleep. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Perez. Whoa, that one's in the dirt. Did it hit him? I don't know how it didn't smack him, but that's ball one, 1-2. All right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Take a look at this. This ball bounced up. Woo! How did it not hit him? Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Man, how did he get the bat on that one? Should have been strike 3, but he hung in there. Fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count remains. Thank you guys for being here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This is hit out into right field. Looks playable. Cam Smith gets over there with his speed, and he jumps into the wall. Fromber gives him a little standing ovation there. Clap, 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 clap. Good job. Yeah. Nice play. Let's take another look at that running high-speed catch by Cam. Kind of reminds me of Bo Jackson, right? When he was running the football and he just kept going into the tunnel. That was funny. Here comes the first pitch to the next batter, Michael Garcia, and that's low and away for ball 1. 1 out, no runners on here in the top of the 7th. Here comes the next pitch. Grounded over on the left side. Paredes scoops it up, fires to first. Another ground ball. 2 pitches to Garcia, and he gets the out. My understanding is that Cam Smith played all of his career basically on third base, but he is doing such a good job out in right field. Here comes the first pitch to Vinny Pasquantino, a little low and inside. Ball 1. I love seeing Cam Smith out there, and Paredes is just too solid at third. I would not move these guys. I would keep them where they are. Here's the next pitch. That's low for ball 2. The only problem that I have with Cam right now is that he needs to really get his batting going. He needs to get that bat going. He's just not contributing enough to be a consistent guy, even though his outfield skills are great. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. 95-mile-per-hour sinker fouled off by Vinny, my cousin Vinny. He ain't no cousin of mine. '70th pitch on the way from Fromber. This one's hit high and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another possible strikeout on the way. We'll see. If Fromber can get an out right here, that'll be 11 pitches this inning. And he got it. Strike 3. Swing and a miss. A big whiff. Good job, Fromber. Fromber with a total of 71 pitches through 7 innings. He's averaging basically 10 pitches per inning. Like 10.2 or so pitches per inning. That's awesome. Still on track to pitch a complete game. Just 2 more innings, guys. And Valdez will pitch a complete game. Don't see that every day. Astros need to back this effort up with some runs. We go into the bottom of the 7th. Stros with 3 more opportunities to get some runs. The 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. They absolutely do not need to let this game get away from Fromber. Fromber deserves this game. "21 likes on the channel live stream so far. Thank you so much. 26 watching. It's been a high. We got over 30 today. Last year, I had some spikes in September because of the playoffs, starting to roll in. I didn't start my live stream until the beginning of July last year. I had a little bit of channel growth during the summer. The reason I started my channel at that time is because I had at least 3 weeks of summer vacation. I've been studying Japanese at a language school over in Japan. I started basically in January of last year, and I studied all the way up until basically April of this year, and I just finished. You could say basically at the end of March, the beginning of April, I was finished. But during the off season between October and the beginning of this season, the baseball season is what I'm talking about, I didn't do any live streaming at all. I didn't do any videos, no live streaming. I just focused on my studies and my work and my health because I am dealing with cancer. So I didn't do anything. So my channel didn't grow, didn't expand, didn't get any subs or anything like that. Jake Myers comes to the plate and hits the very first pitch out into left field. Mr. Baseball, leadoff base runner for the Astros here in the bottom of the 7th. All I have to say about that is heck yes. Myers, boom, baby. Myers with the traditional helmet that doesn't fit. I've seen people comment about that on the YouTube videos, the highlights. Can somebody get Myers a helmet that fits? It's pretty funny. Cam Smith at the plate. Foul tip, strike 1 on that 93-mile-per-hour pitch. 92 pitches now for Bubic. I don't think anybody's warming up yet in the bullpen for the Royals. I think they're trying to let him go as long as they can, trying to preserve their relievers. Juan says, go Astros. Yeah, absolutely. All right, little tapper to the shortstop. They're going to try to double it up. They don't get it. Fielder's choice. Myers is out at second base, but Cam Smith gets on base. 1 away. I thought for a second there that it would be, the tapper would be slow enough for Myers to be safe at second, but Whiff Jr. was able to make the play. It looks like that's going to be it for Bubic tonight. 93 pitches. They're bringing him out of the game. He threw a ton of pitches, but, you know, his results weren't bad. He only gave up 1 run, 1 homer, 1 solo homer. And there's the reliever. We're going to go to a break, apparently, just for a moment, while they let the reliever warm up. Let's see here. Justin Jarvis tossing around more hate. And how about this? How about I just hide you on my channel? Justin Jarvis, I'm letting you know that I'm hiding you on this channel so that nobody can see any of your comments. So, see you. Yeah, there's one thing that I allow on the channel is everyone's opinions and chat, but I don't allow hate. So when people start saying hateful things about others or the teams or me, then they must go. So, Justin Jarvis, I'm sure that you're able to hear me. Congratulations, you're the first person ever on my channel to get completely silenced. Nobody can see anything you say anymore in the live chat or post on this channel. So, as they say here in Japan, sayonara. No time for negativity like you. The state of negativity that you're choosing to exist in is not for me. Let's put it that way. All right. Lucas Ertzeg is in for the Royals. I think I have his... Yes, I do. I have his image. It's kind of a mugshot image, but I do have it. I'm going to put that in here right now. First pitch from Ertzeg is on... No, he goes over to first. He tries to pick him off. Do they get him? They say they picked him off. They're going to take a look at it. Astros might challenge it. And he is out. They're not going to challenge it. Cam Smith gets picked off at first base. Can we get a better angle than that? I guess not. 2 outs. Thanks to the pickoff of Cam Smith, his terrible leadoff base running there. So the new pitcher comes in, and the very first pitch doesn't come. Instead, he just throws him out at first base. Brendan Rodgers is at the plate, takes the first pitch for strike 1, swings at the next pitch for strike 2, and just like that, he's down 0-2. He's got 2 strikeouts today. 0-2. Here's the next pitch. And another strikeout. So just like that, nothing doing for the Astros. So we had 1 runner on. Let me get this straight. We had 1 runner on with 1 out. Thanks to a leadoff single by Jake Myers, and then Cam Smith grounded into a fielder's choice. So Cam Smith was on first base with 1 out. A new pitcher comes in, picks him off on the very first move. 2nd out. Then Brendan Rodgers strikes out. Inning over, just like that. That was... It started off hopeful, and it quickly went downhill. Top of the 8th coming up. The game tied at 1-1. What a game. What a game. Lucas Ertzeg. He's probably going to be back in the game for the next inning. That's just my guess, but we'll see. In the chat, Sergio says, lifelong Astros fan, first-time subscriber. Sergio, thank you so much. I'm really grateful for you being here. I'm really hoping to continue to build my subscription base. My goal for the channel, as far as subscribers, of course, is to grow, but what I would really like to do, if at all possible, is to remove all of the ads on my channel and only have a couple of on-screen ads that are on the screen that are non-intrusive, that you can see and read, but just to have very short sponsorships, sponsorships, advertisements on the screen that are paid. So companies actually paying me to have the advertisements on the screen. Instead of making it really intrusive for you guys, I would really like to turn my ads off on the YouTube channel so that you guys don't have to deal with listening to those ads. That's my goal. But having more subscribers and more views, higher view counts, etc., this is a way for me to convince businesses to sponsor me, right? All right, Fromber's back on the mound facing Freddie Furman. Here's the second pitch. I missed the first one. 0-2. Apparently I missed the first one while I was yammering. 0-2. Fewest errors for third baseman entering tonight. Isaac Paredes is number 1. Here's the 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes. Freddie Fermin. 1 for 2 today. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt again for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 5 more subs to 330. 7 more likes to 30. That'd be nice to get 30 and 30 today. 30 likes and 330 subs. That'd be awesome. Keep my fingers crossed. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 3 on that outside corner. Dropped in that curveball. Fermin didn't like it so much, but you know what? It was in there. Right in there. Boom. 80-mile-per-hour curve, perfectly placed. Fromber is my favorite painter. That was a Fromber original. 77th pitch of the game coming now to Hunter Renfroe. A little high and outside for ball 1. Renfroe 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a double play ground out. He hits this one out into left field. Is it going to be playable? No, it's off the wall. Myers is going to grab it. It's going to be a double. One out double for Renfroe. That's the first time the Royals have gotten an extra base hit tonight. Can you believe that? I can. Right off the upper part of the wall there. Runner on second with 1 out. Fromber will be up to 79 pitches now with this next one. Isbell at the plate. Here's the toss. He tries to bunt and misses it. Strike 1. I like how the umpire points at him like, you went. Strike 1. The accusatory point. Hey, it was you. '80th pitch on the way. 0-1 is the count. Make it 0-2. 96 in the bottom of the zone. Heck yes. He jumps out ahead in this count. Hubelson Solis says, go Astros. That's a swing and a miss. Fromber gets the strikeout against Kyle Isbell. Another K and out number 2 for Fromber. How many strikeouts is it now for Fromber? That's 7 strikeouts. Jonathan India comes to the plate. He's had a pretty good series against the Astros so far. That pitch is a strike on the inside edge. Good delivery from Fromber. Here comes the 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. Man, nice changeup on the outside. Completely fooled India. Look at this. Started inside and went outside. Good pitch. That's exactly the type of pitch that I wanted to throw so badly when I was in high school. I just couldn't do it. But I wasn't a pitcher, so, you know. Nobody taught me anything. I was trying to teach myself. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Ooh, too far inside. He says that it got him on the foot. He's nodding and he's saying that he got hit, so they're going to send him to first base. Let's take another look at it. Let's see. Yeah, it got his knee. He's right. It got him. Yeah, he wasn't playing around. Just too much. Fromber very upset about that. Diaz came out to just kind of calm him down, say, hey, listen, it's not a big deal. It was just one little thing, you know. Just a little too far inside. Hold it together, man. We just need one out. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. But yeah, Hubelson, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Mark, welcome back. Hello to you, sir. Mona Witt Jr. Fromber paints Mona Witt Jr. And that's true. Mona Whiff Jr. Whiff Jr. is at the plate. First pitch is on the way. Woo, just barely missed by maybe an inch on the outside edge. Ball 1. This is the guy that we want to sit down right here. We only need 1 out, Fromber. Here comes the toss. High and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Fromber takes a quick little stroll around the mound. Pulls at the strings on his glove. Gets ready for the next pitch. Here comes the 2-0 delivery. Right in there. What happened? Fastball right down the middle. Man. That's crazy. Let's take another look at this. Wow. Hit him right in the chest protector. Okay, I see what was happening there. Yainer was expecting a breaking ball. So he totally missed the ball. And it hit him right in the chest protector. They came to check on him. But he's all right. Luckily, it hit him right in the chest protector. Man, that was dangerous. Could have hit him in the neck or something. 2 balls and 1 strike. It was a good pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Just not what Yainer was expecting. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Whiff Jr. goes after the curveball on the outside, and that evens the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. 89th pitch of the game coming for Fromber here in the top of the 9th. Here comes the pitch. Little chopper to third. Paredes gets it, fires to first, and he gets him. Yes, he does. Doesn't matter how fast you are. You can't beat Mr. Paredes, the #1 low error, no error guy. The only third baseman in MLB right now to not have an error over at third. He's leading the majors. Fromber gets out of it, guys, with 89 pitches. He's still on track to throw a complete game, averaging slightly less than 10 pitches per inning. How amazing is that? Giving up just 1 run. 6 hits, 1 run for both teams. Both pitchers having quite a game, but especially Fromber, who's still in the game. Man. Bottom of the 8th. The Astros have 2 more opportunities to score. Get ahead in this game and win it. Come on. Fromber is having too good of a game to let it go to waste. So it's time for them to get on the ball. Chas McCormick is due up for the Astros in just a moment. He'll be followed by the top of the batting order, Jeremy Pena and Jose Altuve. Astros with a tremendous opportunity to do something here. Mark says Isbell with sore knee by Fromber. Yeah, he's gonna have a sore one. Got him pretty good. Let's see here. I've got all of my Messenger apps on silent right now, so that I don't hear any of my notifications during the live stream, so I have to check my messages silently. A friend of mine sent me a funny message about Japan, but the English meme, the English is so bad. Looks like Lucas Erceg is on the mound. He's going to be facing the Batman himself, Victor Caratini. Here's the pitch. 85-mile-per-hour slider right in there for strike one. So Chas McCormick is not in the game now. Caratini is taking his spot. 0-1 is the count. So it will be Caratini, Pena, Altuve. 0-1. Bottom of the 8th. Here we go, guys. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Caratini grounds it to the second baseman. India fires over to first. One away. So that's how it starts for the Astros. Ground out. Top of the batting order coming up. Pena's last at bat was a solo home run to the railroad tracks above the Crawford boxes. The only run for the Astros today, that solo monster of a homer. Let's make it 2, Pena. He takes the first one a little low, but the umpire says, me likey, strike one. Oops, I accidentally changed that to a ball. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss low and inside on that changeup. 0-2 just like that. How many people in the live stream? 27. I appreciate you guys. It's been consistently up around 30. That's nice. Pena takes a little time out to walk around the mound. Or walk around the mound. Walk around the box. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Way outside. Good eye. Good eye. Josh Hader and Brian Abreu are warming up in the bullpen for the Astros right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Erceg still on the mound, delivering his next pitch. Pena fouls it off. Count remains 1-2. 10th pitch of the game coming for Erceg in just a moment. Bid Dog says, wow, nice crowd here now. Yeah, it's much nicer than before. Here's the pitch. Little chopper to third, might be trouble. He barehands it. Is he going to get there in time? They say he did. Michael Garcia over at third. They had a little change, apparently. Luckily, he had the nice, easy bounce, so he was able to barehand it. Unfortunately, no chance for Pena to beat that one out. Even though it was a slow chopper, it was just an easy grab for Garcia and an easy throw. So 2 up and 2 down. That brings up my hero, Jose Altuve. He has that opportunity right now to be today's hero with 1 hit. He could do it into the Crawford boxes. Let's see. First pitch, 100 miles an hour, way up above the zone. Good take from Altuve. 1 for 3 on the day with a double for Altuve. Let's make it 2 for 4. Right up the middle, bounces off the pitcher. India grabs it, fires the first. That's going to be it for the Astros. All right, well, that's it for the 8th. This game is still tied. Let me put a little poll in the chat right quick. Let's do a poll. Now's a good time to do a poll. Okay. Start a poll. Extra innings or... Okay. Yes. 1 to 2 extra innings. Okay. Yes. 3 or more extra innings. Yes. Let's say three or 4 extra innings? Yes. 5 or more extra innings. No. This game ends in 9. Let's do that. What do you guys think? A little bit of a poll for you guys. Do you think it's going to go extra innings, or do you think it's going to end in the next one? We are completely even in this game, despite a masterful performance by Valdez. This game remains tied 1-1. 6 hits for each team. Valdez is up on the mound. He should be. No, they're not going to let him pitch. Brian Abreu is replacing Valdez, so Valdez will not get the complete game. Brian Abreu is coming in. I was really hoping to see Valdez again, but not today. Brian Abreu is in after a wonderful performance by Valdez. But hats off to you, Mr. Fromber. You painted a masterpiece today. 8 innings with 1 run. Brian Abreu is in for the Stros. He will be facing Michael Massey, who is pinch hitting for Mark Canha. Here comes the first delivery. Outside, 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Ball 1. Whoops, I forgot to change the information on screen. I'm sorry about that. My bad. It is corrected now. Swing and a miss on that second pitch. The slider getting the strike. The count is even, 1-1. Here comes the rock toss. Way outside, the 98-mile-per-hour heater missing the mark by over 2 feet. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nice Pooh says, hey, hi. Oh, hi to you too. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Abreu gets a strikeout on Michael Massey, the pinch hitter. 1 away. Let's see if we can get a replay there. Just barely. Slider. Dirty slider. He did him dirty. 1 away. Salvador Perez comes to the plate. He's had a lot of trouble this series with the Stros. Here comes the pitch. Whoa! Almost took off his head. Ball 1. That's not the kind of pitch you want to be throwing there, Mr. Abreu. Yeah, almost got him in the shoulder. That's no good. That's not good. I'm not happy. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the next pitch from Abreu. Little outside check swing. He did not go, says the first base ump. Ball 2. This is a guy you definitely need to pitch to. Give him something to swing and miss, man. 2-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit high in the air. That's what I'm talking about. Jake Myers is underneath it. Boop. Puts it away for out number 2. Dubon is now out in left field for McCormick, so they had another change. They had Caratini bat for McCormick earlier, but then they put Mauricio Dubon out in left field. The first pitch to Michael Garcia is way outside for ball 1. I'm trying to get my headphones moved around, and the cord is stuck on my chair. I had to unhook it. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Just below the zone for ball 2. Carlos Estevez and John Schreiber are both warming up in the bullpen for the Royals. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball to Pena. He scoops it up, fires over to first. That's it for the Royals in the top of the 9th. So Abreu comes in, continues the excellent job by Fromber. 3 up and 3 down. Astros with an opportunity to walk this game off in the 9th. If you take a look at the poll in the live chat, I have a poll. 32 people watching now. It's kind of a high for this particular live stream. And I appreciate you all being here today. Do me one big favor. If you are an Astros fan, please subscribe to the channel. I'm an independent guy. Okay, I live in Japan. I grew up my early childhood in Houston. Became an all Houston fan. But I've continued to follow the Astros. And decided to start this channel. I'm not currently working because I'm in Japan on a medical visa right now. I am being treated for renal cancer, and the doctors don't have a very good opinion about it. It's really grim, according to them, but in my opinion, I can beat it. So one of the things I decided to do with my time is divide it between a few different things, and one of those is doing this live stream channel. Nobody was doing an English language YouTube live play-by-play for the Astros, so I decided to start it last summer, actually. So July, August, and September, basically, I did the live stream. My channel grew from 0 to about 250, 260 subs. And then during the off season, I didn't really do anything because I was studying Japanese full-time and dealing with health issues, trying to work part-time online. School finished for me at the end of March this year, and I started to pick the live streams back up. My channel has grown a little bit more. Today I was hoping to get to 330 subscribers, still 5 away from that. So if you're an Astros fan and you haven't subbed yet, I'd appreciate you doing that. I just need 5 more. Also need 5 more likes to get to 30. So like the live stream and subscribe. I need 5 and 5. But anyway, to those who keep coming back, you know who you are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the live chats. Thank you for the support. John Schreiber is in for the Royals. Here in the bottom of the 9th, he's going to start off facing Isaac Paredes. Paredes rips that first one down the third baseline, foul for strike 1. Astros just need 1 into the Crawford boxes to end this game. Oh, 1 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Schreiber. That's hit hard out to the Crawford boxes. That's it. That's it. Walk-off home run. He socked the ball, Paredes. He socks the ball for sure. He socked that ball out into the Crawford boxes. Astros walk it off. Isaac Paredes decides, you know what? I'm done with this game. I have no interest in extra innings. 2-1. Astros win. And they dumped the cooler on him at the plate. How do you like that? Second pitch. Boom. Gone. Astros win this game on a walk-off home run to the Crawford boxes by Isaac the Ball Paredes. And did he sock the ball or what? That's right, guys. Take a look at this. Here's a replay. John Schreiber comes in, gives up that home run on the second hit. Paredes just calm look on his face, just casually, boom, right out into the Crawford boxes. That's what we're talking about. The Astros' reaction in the dugout. That's gone, baby. Everybody running out there. That's right. Give him a hug, Altuve. That's right. He does it. Man. The man of the day right there, guys. How do you like that result? Jordan says Bregman who? Exactly. You know, I didn't really know anything about Paredes when he came in. And the main thing I was worried about is he going to be able to replace Bregman's glove? But check it out, guys. He's the only third baseman without an error. He's got 0 errors over there this season. He's leading all third basemen. He's got the best, absolute best glove on the field. And his batting has been improving. So, of course, now they're giving him a lot of attention, a lot of love, and chatting with him. I'm going to pause the game right here because we got to do a recap of what happened in this game. Let me take, first of all, a look at your comments in the live stream section. I want to get to those comments if I can. Juan Garcia says, I love Houston Astros. Yes, absolutely. Me too, my friend. Sergio says we need a walk-off home run. We can do it. You're right, sir. And we got it. Good call. BitDog says, good luck with the kidneys. I'm going to go through dialysis 3 times a week. Oh, man. Or I am going through. Dialysis is no fun. And you know, BitDog, to be honest, I've had a couple of different health issues in my life. 3 major ones, including this one. And I've missed out on colostomy bags and dialysis and all of those things. I've been really blessed to avoid those things. But I have been through a lot of pain. Through surgeries and injuries and things like that. So I completely understand the difficulty. I wish you nothing but the best. Juan Garcia says, God bless you. God bless you too. Right back at you, Mr. Garcia. Thank you so much. But I like, Jordan, you said Bagman. Bagman who? That's hilarious. Sergio, way more important than this game. I hope, pray, and believe that you will beat the cancer. I'm sure I will, and I'm sure I am. Thank you, Sergio. Wish you the best. Mark says, stay positive, keep laughing. Yep, that's my focus this year. I think if you go back and you listen to my live streams last year, you'll see that there's a difference between my mindset at that time and right now. Definitely stay positive, believe positive. What we see is just an appearance. Reality is what we choose to believe. Woot says BitDog. Yeehaw says shoot. Jordan says, when asked about replacing Bregman, Preda said, it's okay, I'm not worried. Yeah, you said that. You mentioned that before, and I think it's wonderful. Because at first you think, oh, that sounds arrogant, but actually he's just being honest. He was just being honest. Straight up honest. So his glove is solid. His play in the field is solid. And his hitting is coming along. He's the #1 batter with runners in scoring position for the Astros this year so far. Let's end the poll and see what it says. 66% of you guys said the game ends in 9. You were right. 33% said it would take 1 to 2 extra innings, and the rest of you 0-0. But 66% of you were right. Good job. I'm going to do a quick recap of this game just to let you guys know what happened, and then we'll be out of here. I'll see you in the next game. Where is that tab? Here it is. Today's game recap. Here we go. The scoring was so minimal, guys. Astros win 2-1. They do it in the 9th inning, just enough. But the real tell of this game was Framber Valdez pitching 8 solid innings, averaging 10 pitches per inning, giving up only 1 run and 6 hits. In the top of the 5th, Freddie Fermin, he singled to right field, scoring Garcia, and that gave them a 1-0 lead. That was the only run they would get the entire game. In the bottom of the 6th, Pena solo homered to left field, tied the game 1-1. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Isaac the Ball Paredes came to the plate, and he homered 375 feet, just 6 feet less than Pena. Walked it off in the 9th inning. 2-1 Astros win. What a phenomenal day. Unfortunately, Abreu gets the win because the Astros were tied when Framber came out. But Framber had how many strikeouts? Let's see. How many strikeouts did he have today? He had 7 strikeouts and just 1 walk. What a game, guys. It was a little boring for a while, but the Astros pulled it out. So if you're an Astros fan, it came out good for us, right? How do you say "Go Astros" in Japanese? I would just say, now, Astros is not a Japanese word, so it'd sound like this. Su du rose. Astros. Astros. And you could say iku, or ike is more direct. Like ike, it just means go. It's like very direct. If you want somebody to go and you want to say it politely, you would just say like, Ike kurusai. But you don't need to say that when you're saying go Astros. But probably you would say, Ikusa! Astros, ikusa! It's kind of like saying, let's go. If you say, ikimashou, it's kind of like saying, let's go. If you say, ikimashou ne, it's like saying, let's go, right? Let's go, huh? You know, why don't we go? But maybe you could just say, ikusa! Astros! Ikusa! Let's go. All right. That's it for now, guys. Thank you so much again for being here. I'm going to type one last thing in the chat. Thank you again for the wonderful live stream audience. See you for Game 3. See you for Game 3 tomorrow. And, as always, Geaux Stros. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Most of you have. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you've done today. Thank you for participating. And I'll see you back again tomorrow. Much love. Great game. A little boring for a while, but it was a masterful performance by the painter Framber Valdez. I'm going to get out of here and see you guys next time. Until tomorrow, Geaux Stros.